Since the economic improvement addressed by Trump on his State of the Union speech, can we say that he's maintaining his promise of making America great again?
Well, the big question whenever you have economic changes and economic growth is who's responsible. It's always hard to figure out exactly how much of it is due to the president and how much of it is due to other policies, how much of it is just due to things that happen, global economics and so forth. And so it's obviously people who like Trump himself and people who want to support him are going to say he gets credit, and people who are inclined not to support him are going to deny him that credit. It is the case that most, but not all, of the recent improvements are sort of on trend. So they've been trends that have been continuing from before, whether that means that they're due to Obama policies or probably just as likely due to things that have nothing to do with the president at all is probably the case. The one place where I think the president probably does deserve credit is with the stock market. The stock market's moved off quite a bit, and I think that's due to the stock market's attitude about the tax program, and the tax program is something that has been one of Trump's signatures. But the rest of the economy, I think it's more likely that it's just both the natural recovery process that's been in place, some of that due to policies over the last 8 years, and some of it due to just the natural business cycle.
Okay. Will Trump's call on Democrats be successful in dealing with such big problem as immigration?
Well, what Trump wants to do on immigration is he's got a bargain where he wants to give Democrats some things with the expectation that they will give back him some things. And he's pitching that as sort of a down-the-middle compromise, that what he has proposed is, the Democrats get some of what they want and he gets some of what they want. I think the Democrats aren't going to see it as down the middle. I think Democrats are going to see the DACA part of it as a compromise, and then they're going to see the wall as a thing that they'd be willing to maybe give, but then all the other changes, they're not going to see that way. And in particular, taken to its logical extreme, the proposal that he laid out in the State of the Union is very much a change from doing a better job of enforcing existing immigration laws, so as to fight illegal immigration, to going after legal immigration. And changes to the visa program and to family migration are the kinds of things that I think a lot of Democrats are going to say that was never on the table and that's too much.
Okay. And can you give us your personal opinion on Trump's first year?
Well, I think before Trump was even nominated, my impression of Trump was that he was going to have a hard time getting nominated, probably wouldn't be nominated. I was wrong about that. Because he's not a regular party player. He's not a member of the party, really. He wasn't before. He doesn't have connections. He's not a real politician. And it's hard to do politics if you don't have those skills. So it turns out he was able to win the nomination and win the election without those skills, without those networks, those connections. But governing is a different matter, and he's had a really hard time governing without those connections. And I think several times there have been crises in legislation that you would not expect to happen with unified government. Democrats have a minority in both houses. Republicans ought to be able to get pretty much whatever they'd like to through. Maybe not anything, but a lot. And yet there's constant problems and plans that what Trump would like to put together are falling apart. And I think that comes from an inability to negotiate with a legislature. You may have experience negotiating with real estate where you can walk away from a project and go to a different project. You can't walk away from the US Congress. It's the only Congress he can work with. And so he just doesn't know how to do that kind of negotiating. He doesn't have experience with that, and it's not worked out well with